again, dip them again. The devil in them, so just dip them again, dip them again, dip them again. Call on God and make him whip them again. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block you. The devil have a way of sending people. We try spoil your day. When you're rising and them falling, them want to see you crawling. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block you way. Them try block me but them could not stop. Them chat me but them could not stop. Bitch me current and try fish shot. Father God them now fi got me so me walk them out. Mask them out. They a cross road me neck and just cross them out. God start them out. Shot them out. Every time them see me them hear this from me mouth. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block you. The devil have a way of sending people. We try spoil your day. When you're rising and them falling, them want to see you crawling. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block your way. Them full of bad mind and all these things. Don't want to see you climb and all these things. Satan send them as a sign and all these things. We treat we unkind and all these things. But God have a way for we find them out. Make them set them own trap so we time them out. But at the holy book him a go sign them out. Them under false pretense so we line them out. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block you. The devil have a way of sending people. We try spoil your day. When you're rising and them falling, them want to see you crawling. The devil have a way of sending people. We try block your way.
No, the energy coming from Minister Marion Hall. No, talk truth. You feeling this track or what? The song is titled The Devil Have a Way, and we are standing by. It's all about Road to Success, the journey. See you on the flip side of this quick break.
It's 12:30 p.m. Lunchtime is Mother's Restaurant time. Burgers, sandwiches, soup, and more. Mother's makes all day delicious.
Say the 6, yo. Hey, we didn't make me thirsty, you know. Hey, Kerry, give me
a Magnum. 4 bills that.
Hey, I move so strong.
From what me hear a road, Johnny, with a Magnum you can't go wrong.
Real talk. Ha. How much more you for the Magnum?
Me tell you, 4 bills. You know me only sell at the right price. Take charge of things with Magnum. Anytime, anywhere. Must be 18 years or older to drink. Drink responsibly.
One thing I know, Flow prepaid plans always have a lower rate. No even matter how high the other guys want more rates for them on. Get the plan with endless energy for talk, social, and data for TikTok. Plus minutes to call the US. I use the 7-day plans for only $830. But Flow have a plan for every budget. Get Flow prepaid mobile plans with endless energy and switch to Flow and keep your number. Dial *129*6 number sign to activate. Conditions apply. Endless energy.
When the road is rocky and the hill is much too steep, call up and God alone because no time the Father now sleep. See, me say, when I remember where I'm coming from, through all the trials and the tribulation, yes, the hardship and the separation, I have to go on my knees and give praises to God.
From queen of the dancehall to minister, this world-renowned entertainer has cemented her place in Jamaica's musical history among the greats. She's the first female entertainer to be certified as a triple platinum and Grammy Award-winning artist. Marion Hall was baptized in 2015 and later became an ordained minister. Today, we journey with none other than Minister Marion Hall on the road to success. Minister, welcome and thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule to take us on your awesome journey. We truly appreciate it.
Blessings overflow to you. I'm here just smiling, looking at you. I miss you. I really do miss you. Tashima, I tell you, nothing changed about you. Looking so beautiful and blessed. And I'm just honored to be here with you today because of the love that I feel for my people. You know, I'm really missing Jamaica right now. You know, I'm just grateful to be here. God bless you.
Awesome, and blessings to you too. You're looking beautiful as always. Nothing, well, a lot has changed and yet a lot of things remain the same. We can see your inner glow. So,
Yeah.
Minister,
Now I'm glowing more than I used to, right? Because the glow of
yes.
God is upon me. This that is the Shekinah glory, the grace of God. When the grace of God has transformed your life, a lot of things change. The inner person has changed, and spiritually, there's just this light. We are the light of the world. You know what I'm saying? And I look at myself sometimes. I remember when I just got saved in Kashima, and I look at myself and I look so beautifully like different. And I'm looking in the mirror and I say, God, don't take this light off me, And I later found out it's the grace. It's grace. Yes.
That is awesome. But let's begin, Minister, with the foundation of Marion Hall and take us to the genesis of your story, where you were born and raised, and how would you describe your upbringing?
Okay. Well, I was born in Port Maria, St. Mary, actually, at the Port Maria Hospital, but I grew up in Galena, St. Mary, which is just a beautiful community. I grew up with my mom and dad, but there was times when my mom would run away because of the abuse from my dad. He was physically abusive and verbally also, not just to her, but to us, the children. Even now, I believe that some of the kids, like mainly my brothers, some of them, they're not even, they don't know how to get over that. So the abuse has caused damage, and it's internal. And even now I have brothers who are like, one of them is so bitter. He doesn't even talk to me more time, and he ended up doing the same thing to his kids. And that's how I ended up adopting two of his kids and stuff, and that cycle continue, but it was a beautiful community, a small one. Everybody knew everybody. My great grandmother, she was a prophetess. Her name was Aunt Linda. People would call her Warner woman, but anything she said would happen, and she was crippled and blind too, because she told me that the Lord sent her on a mission, and she didn't go to warn a man who was sitting in a bar, some miles away. But she said she was washing, couldn't leave. She said, I'm not going because I'm wet, I'm washing. So she fell right there under the line, and she got crippled and blind. But there was this light on her, and that is the same light that I see on myself. I even hear my sister say that. I see Aunt Linda on you, she was very close to me. She loved me. My dad and her also was very close. So whenever my dad wanted to beat me, I would run to her, and he would just go away because he wouldn't want to cause any harm to her. The community, it was just love, you know. Everybody knew everybody. As I said, my dad was a fisherman, a painter, a farmer, everything. But my mom now, she used to wash for people when she went to Kingston. She was more a stay-home mom, but my dad would never stay home because dad was to run for her life, you know. But they both passed now. A lot of people were surprised that I still, you know, I love my dad and I took care of him till the day he died. I was not there, but I had a nurse there, and I was on phone, you know, FaceTime and stuff, and I knew when he was gonna pass, and he knew also. God showed us both. I got him baptized before he passed because he said, I want to get baptized. I don't want to go to hell. I want to, so he did that, Sharia's right there. And we are just a family of, I have like four brothers, four sisters, two from my mother's side before she met my dad. My growing up I was more a tomboy, yeah, and I would do what the boys do, and then there was sound systems in Galena, and I would be up on that truck with Clement, them, and I was up on the truck, and I would go anywhere with them. I would sleep in the dance hall on the ground on coconut limb. Yeah, when the dance was over, that was my bed. I would chop down coconut limb, and I would sleep right there on the ground. It was just me and the boys. Me and the boys. I remember at about 16 years old, my mom, when she ran away, I was maybe 17 or so, somewhere around there. And there was a man who had a bar and a restaurant in Jamaica, and he was breaking it down, and I asked him, can I take the board? And he did boards, and he said yes. So me and my two smallest brother, I became their mom. Yeah,
Wow.
Andrew and Sheldon. So I took the board and I got the boys from the sound system, Chaos, and they all came and I captured a piece of land around a lighthouse, and they built a one room for me. And at the time they came for us to vote, and I was young, I couldn't vote, but they had me vote. So they said they would give us zinc, and they wouldn't give me the zinc. After I said, where my zinc them there? They wouldn't give me the zinc. So I go and take some zinc, me and some boys, and we, put the zinc on top of the house. I remember a lady down there, she said, it takes 10 young girl like you to do this. We proud of you, man, and I was a young girl, mothering two boys, and we grew up begging tourist money. And that's when I met my daughter doing the same thing, over by Portmore at the Kentucky, begging money to go to school. I was no lady saw, so I offered to take her, give her all she need. And her mom said if I could adopt her, because she reminded me of myself hustling in the street. And her mom died like months after, so I legally adopted that child. She lives in Nashville with my two grandbabies, beautiful grandbabies, and her husband. And she just made me proud, and I help a lot of people because of how a lot of people helped me when I was growing up.
Wow, you said so much in that tidbit.
Yeah.
So here it is, as 16-year-old Marion Hall taking care of your two siblings. During that time, how were you introduced to music? How did you develop a passion for that?
Okay.
And where was school in the midst of you having to be mommy and daddy to your siblings?
Well, I went to Galena Primary School, and I also went to Orocabesta Secondary School. I didn't spend a long time there because sometimes we'd be at the primary school, and my dad would just say, "Pedro, come on! Hey, Uno, come on!" And the teacher would say, "Go, go, go! My daddy come, go! Uno, go on." So my dad would pull us out of school because each time my mom would run away, he would find her. He would find my mom. And he would take us out of school, bring us home. I said, "Pull up your hair, pull out to the head." So we're looking at him. He said, "Pull out to the head," So we start pulling out the plaits and stuff, and he would take the dirt from the ground, scrape up the dirt and throw it in our head, and just rub up our head and he'd start tearing down our uniforms off us, tear down our clothes, and then our little bottom showing in our little panties, and we wondering what's going on. But he actually found out where my mom is in Kingston, so he's going to take us there. So he took us on the bus with Maria. Everybody looking at us because our clothes on and dirt in our head.
He's taking
everything, my dad. He tear off the clothes them off us, and he put dirt in our head and rub it up. And then he took us to Kingston, and he would find a place where my mom was. And when he would go there, the ghetto woman them say, "Hey, donkey, what guy you beat up the woman." But then he would take us in a line and just push us to the zinc gate. It was all zinc, I remember. And when he pushed us in, they would then look at us and flip on our mom and say, "Jesus Christ, Jenny, then I saw you left your pitney them on sofa." But let me tell you, my dad have good sides to him, because my dad could comb and plait our hair really good. He sews our clothes and everything. But I believe that the stress of life, he was never educated. He couldn't read. So when he went to farm work, he would send cassette that's his letter. So the cassette would have recording of him, and my grandmother, which is his mother, would take it. It would say, "Give sister $50, Elvis $50, give Precious $40, Andrew $30, give Sheldon $30. Don't give Marion none."
Why?
He said not to give me any. But anyway, my life was, listen, I sleep outside in the bushes. Wow. I knew everything like the boys. I climbed coconut tree. I climbed the tallest coconut tree. I would sit up in there and use my foot and kick down the coconuts. I'm like my brothers. But the thing is this, my brothers, I would be coming home from hustling, like I would be hustling. That's before I built this place, this house. In Trade Winds, we used to live in Trade Winds in a broken down hotel. And let me tell you this. I tell you, there was like 20 something steps, and that's how I learned to run, because I always have to run from that whenever I see him coming. But anyway, school for me. So that's how we never get, like, for me, I never remember a teacher giving me a one-on-one. I love English, but I never get a one-on-one. When I went to Orocabessa Secondary, I was always wearing hand-me-down clothes, like, other people would give us clothes, and they used to call me Mother Rachel, because there was a story on RJ, Mother Rachel. What's going on with Baker? So they mess with me all the time, and I end up in fights. I remember I went into the music class one day, and like the teacher said, find like the key, say A or E. Mm-hmm. And I just go on the guitar. Bang! And she said, come out of my class. Get out of my class. She never said anything like teach me anything. She just told me to exit the building. You know what I'm saying? And
wow.
Yeah, but there was a gift in me. I started singing in church. So my dad, as I said, he had good side. He took us to church. And there was a church on there's a church there and a church down the road and a church there, plus Aunt Linda was a church woman. So I used to sing in the Seventh-day Adventist in Orocabessa because my dad took us there and baptized all 6 of his children. We didn't know what Christianity was. We were Seventh-day Adventists. Listen to this. My dad now, he got baptized, we all got baptized. They said it's for a boat. He wanted them to buy him a boat, but he didn't get it anyway. By say we baptized Saturday, by Monday my dad cussing a whole lot of bad words. And there were some grown women, Charm, Pines, and Maxine, they give us sausage to eat and start laughing and saying it's pork in the sausage. So I still find joy with all that. Even though I sleep behind my dad, for instance, want to beat me, I would run up to the top with these grown women. They would smoke weed, and there was a ganja tree in the yard, and one day they take the leaves off and we build a fire, put a zinc on the top, put the leaves on it to dry, and then we roll up spliff and smoke. I never smoked no weed before, so I become I was out of my mind. Oh, wow. That is why I know I don't know. So my dad came while I was high. And he came with a cutlass, machete people call it. And he just grabbed me and go, whop! He has a way to just, whop! It's me and your time now. And my dad tied me on a tree with a big rope. The rope is like a rope that he would tie the cow with. Yes, my dad tied me and throw it over a big limb, and just tie me up, tight and knot it. And he would come and he would beat me. He would use electric wire. Yeah, if it was a hose, where the coconut, growing the coconut, the thing that holds the coconut, we call it coconut glue. And he would beat me so bad. I remember having a stepmother, and she would never tell him to stop. I don't know. She just sat there, and my dad would give me one round, and he would go and eat his dinner. And he'd come back for another round, and then my friends who give me the weed would say, "Stop beating girl," and they call him names, and he would whoop me again. I said, "Tell them to call me name. Whoop, tell them to call." I said, "Don't call him so," and they whoop me, and he would whoop me again. But he came back for the third round, I was already chewing on the rope. So when he came, I loosed myself, and when he grabbed at me, I flipped him, and I see him hold his shoulder. So his shoulders slip out. I take bush for it, and he will not see me. He wouldn't see me until 2 weeks. But I would check in with my sisters and say, "What's going on?" I would sleep at the back of the house. My sister Precious would tell me when it was good for me to come. I would walk in Boxfield there, and I would beg people in Boxfield to take me one at a time. I put all my clothes in a box and leave the rest at an hydrant where I wash them. And I put a box on my head, because there was Zoe and Sonia next door, Miss Gracie house in Galena. And I used to hang between, I would go to their house, I would sing for them, and I would go to Miss Gracie, I would help her wash the plate, wash whatever, and she would cook, she can cook. Anyway, I see that one lady come from Boxfield. I always think that Ochi was the place to be. Like, you want a hotel job? I said, okay. So I put a box, an Excelsior box with my clothes on my head, and I go knocking on every gate in Boxfield because the lady said she lived in Boxfield. I say, when I couldn't find her, I asked everybody, do you want a little girl to take? I will help you to wash, I will help you to clean, and nobody took me. And I had was to go back to Galena, sleep in the bush again. I have a friend by the name of Judith. I would sleep under her bed. I would sleep under Portia, never bed. There was a time when I was sleeping under somebody's bed and the father realized that I was there and wanted to have sex with me. I have to bounce again, and I mean, I'm the daughter's friend. So why would you want to do that? You are that my dad's friend. So why would you want to do that? So it was just struggle. And one day I told my friends, I'm going to Kingston, I'm not coming back. So I left one of my brothers at the house in the one room, and I went to Kingston, so I was where my mom was. I tell you, Buju Banton did a song, Circumstances Made Me What I Am. I believe because of circumstances, my mom ended up with somebody else who, I tell you, I had was to knock him out, like I knocked him out, literally, just knocked him out with a brick, because he didn't want me to sleep in the house. He wanted to try and like, how old are you now? Oh, yeah, how much now? And trying and knock him out, so that's my life. Music was a part of me because I used to sing for the next door neighbors, I tell you, in Galena, Sonia, and they used to dress really well. Sonia's husband was an artist, and he used to be at Japanese. I can't remember his name now. I remember sleeping up in the closet, way up in the closet, and hiding from him. And he heard when I'm coughing. Say, who that coughing up there? Him said, "DJ girl." Him said, "Why you never tell me so fucking say something?" You know what I'm saying? I don't want her to hear. It was a good life, I believe. But there was a lot of abuse, but I enjoyed my life. I was happy and sad, but happy too. And make music became the thing that, I would walk around singing to the store, to the shop, and remembering the song weeks after. So that is why, and people say, you can really sing. When they told my dad that, I said, sing where? She needs to get sit down somewhere. Then I was.
So when you finally got your break in dancehall as Lady Saw, what was the reaction from your family and especially your father, who did not believe that you could do something great?
I'll tell you that one is big. So I started going on the sound system.
Before you tell me, Minister, we're gonna go to a quick time signal and come back.
Okay, no problem. Yes.
The mission of the Ministry of Legal and Constitutional Affairs includes revising Jamaica's legal and constitutional infrastructure and accelerating the pace of reform. The time by the MLCA is...
It is now 12:51. We are on the road to success and we're journeying with Minister Marion Hall. So you are right in the process of telling us now, Minister, your father's reaction in particular when you made it.
And that's big.
Yes.
Okay, so I was going back and forth all over the sound, every sound system I would go on it. Barry G was in at the time, I would go on it. Sister Nancy, I used to love listening to her, love Lady G, all of them. But there was a time Clement Harry come down to Port Mary there, Little Bay, and I would find myself there and I asked them to give me the mic, give me a talk off the mic. And he called me, come in, call me your skin girl, and I would mash it up. And then there goes Stereo One now. Coming to Port Maria, St. Mary. Me, Charm, Pines, and Nancy, them, we go dance all the time, So what happened now? We go by the riverside to jump the fence. So I allowed them to jump first. So when it was my time to jump, the security come and draw a big stone and said, go back over. So I walk around and come back into the town and go to the front gate. I say I was in there before, with the day in there. Me leave without getting me stamped. Because they used to me in the dance hall, the guy give me the stamp. So when I go in there stitching them, I mash up the place, man. And Me tell them, give me a talk off of the mic, but they didn't want to give me no talk. I look too country, I guess. You know what I'm saying? So I remember a young man in the community said, "Give her a talk. She bad man, give her a talk." So when they gave me the mic, I started mash up the place. So everybody decided to clash me, and I clashed the one of them and kill everybody. So when Stitchy was now clashing with me, so when Stitchy give me a lyrics and I give him a lyrics, because back then I just have a whole heap of lyrics store up, you know, and I go so bam, so Stitchy can't bother with me because he can't stop. He just start walk right here, you know. So I got to free up. So there was a cassette all over in Kingston now about this little young hey, them have a little girl over Yalina them man. She done a said me, she have a come mash up the place. The woman body's a shame. Yo, I see Stitchy one time, but he never talked to me at all because every taxi man had that, you know, that cassette. The man asked me the night if I know Ransman. I said no, but I'll find it. So I went there, you know, and them said I carry go to England and get my passport. What passport? Nobody carry nowhere, anywhere. No, but anyway, I started, you know, get recognition, and I would go from Maxfield Avenue down by Greenwich Farm, and I would go on sound systems and find friends, and you go on people. Sometimes I hold the mic, you have some bad girl in any about say, "Hey, country girl, pull up yeah." They would get me scared. And there was a night when one of them said, "Hey, pull on the mic," because like they follow me everywhere every time I get the mic. And I was so nervous. I get so nervous because a bad girl will come face and anorexical body and I'm so one night a man said to me, "Go back up there and take the mic and do that song, the same song you just did." And it was pure forward. But I'm gonna tell you when I know I really got the break. I went to a solo dance of Maxfield, and I was in this pretty blue dress that was given to me by up by Bailey's Vale. There was a sound up there, and Boomis bought me 2 dresses, and I looked so good in them dresses that one night I walking in the dark, and one of them girl who was jealous give me one box. I run off it. Yeah, but anyway, I wear one of the dress to Kingston now. That time I do these X-rated songs. First I started out with Mama Don't Worry, just chill, I'm working harder to buy your house on the hill. Papa just easy, take it one step up at a time. Your daughter going to turn you into a millionaire, blind, and nobody not fearing no mind that. But you see, I see guys doing all this X-rated songs, but they were more degrading women. Your mother all of them, you know, and thing. So I went in and I changed the whole demographic, and I go, you know, with this, if the man left and stab up with me, love them things that start for grace. Anyway, while I was there, it was Christmas time, and I beer clappers, and my song is being pulled up over and over, and nobody knew who I was. I just beer clappers, fire clappers all over, and I'm standing like, you know, and nobody knew me. I'm shy, I'm not going to no mic or anything, but when my dad found out who I was, all of a sudden, my dad find time and money to call me on the phone, telling me he's suffering up there, right? He has a lot of friends. Talk to Mr. Joe, talk to my friend Paul, talk to my friend John, talk to my friend, you know? And I'm talking to all these people. And the first money I go send him, like I sent him 600 US. Who tell me to do that? No, daddy start call. Yes, by this is complaining of hardship which he was really going through. So I have him come down, you know, and I even have him working with, like, coming with me on the road and stuff. And I remember I rent a house, half of the house, and my dad bring his woman in there, and he's fighting that woman in there. I'm hearing them. My dad is doing, you know, and I tell you, my mom was still alive, and she would come there, and he would secretly, like, disrespecting my mom, but my other sister would hear. Like, if she opened the pot, he would be like, she going to the food. The woman who feeds you, cook for you, give you 6 children, in this day and age, you're still disrespecting my mom. So that became a problem. I even lose what happened. The lady wanted to borrow 70,000, and I said I didn't have it. It was in Portmore. I was at the time, and she said because of my dad throwing out the lady clothes outside because he was living in one of the rooms that I. She said she giving me notice. So anyway, my dad, he was traveling with me, and then I left him in Florida at an apartment, all hell break loose with him and two women. Big man still have two women, them a mash down the place, a fight over him running up and down in the people, them complex balling, murder, murder, because one of the women pull her gun and says, somebody gonna die today, and he run out in his underwear. So he was still doing what he was doing until he had an heart attack. He had a few, but the last one was major. And he said he wanted to come back to Jamaica to die where his children, are. And I remember, we have people say, why is it that he's at your house? How do you allow him to live there? Why is he in your car? Why is he this and that? And, I thought, don't you remember he almost killed a when? And, this was a grown woman telling me this, a woman that I really look up to. And I told her that I have a different heart. God gave me a different heart. And I knew from a young age that something was off with my dad. So when my mom sometimes was running away and she grabbing everybody, I stayed. And I wait until she's way out in Port Marion. I kind of imagine, I watch them walk, because you could watch from Tradebridge when they go around a little bit around the seaside. And I wait until I know they're on a bus. And I go down to the Merca Holly, and Mr. Malan was selling cane, and my dad would hang out there and say, Daddy, because my brothers, they couldn't talk, but they said Daddy instead of Daddy. So I said, Daddy, Mama gone with them people, and I would look at him for...
We're going to have to take another break, a quick break for a cash pot. So don't go anywhere to our listeners. We're going to be returning shortly. Listen up your top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and cash pot lunchtime draws up next.
If you have fame, and if you think you're supreme, and if you have power, and if you're hot, you're not saying nothing till you're irie.
Good afternoon. It is Thursday, March 16, 2023. I am Carrie Ann, and welcome to this afternoon's live Supreme Ventures lunchtime game draw. Now, before we begin, here's a quick look at the mid-morning winning numbers. Now, please remember that all live games are being supervised by the Betting, Gaming, and Lotteries Commission and observed by the independent auditing firm PwC. And now let's put some money in the field top draw. Now, this afternoon's top draw jackpot has climbed to $400,000. So here are your winning top draw numbers. And for money upon top money, the first top draw number coming your way is the number 4. Next up is a solid number 20. Now the third top draw number this afternoon is number 2. Next up, we have number 9, and our final top draw number making its way up and down is lucky number 10. And now let's pick a play with our dollars game. So I hope you're feeling lucky. Here goes. And this afternoon's winning lunchtime dollars numbers are coming your way. First up, we have the number 24. Next in line is the number 19. Right after 19 comes ball number 21. A solid number 30 is next. Right after that comes the number 1. Now the next dollars number this afternoon is 18. And of course we're halfway there. So what is next? 14. And following 14 we have the number 5. The next dollars number this afternoon is the number 26. Right after 26 is 32. And following 32, what do we have? Number 7. And the final dollars number in our lunchtime dollars game is the number 29. And now for some easy winnings with our pick 2 game. So get those tickets out and let's play. Now the first pick 2 number coming away is 7. And the second pick 2 number is the number 5. So again, the winning pick 2 numbers are 7 and 5. Up next, you can play 3 ways. The game you can play straight, mix, and of course you know it. Just back it up. Here we go. Now, the first pick three number this afternoon in our lunchtime pick three game is the number 9. Now, the second pick three number is 2. And our third and final pick three number, here it comes. It is the number 7. So again, the winning pick three numbers are 9, 2, and 7. It is now time to total up your winnings, so get ready for a pick four game. And of course, you know it, the balls are bubbling up. So first up, what do we have? It is a 9. Now, the second pick four number this afternoon is 8. Now, the third pick four number is another 8. Now, the final pick four number coming your way this afternoon is the number 2. So again, the winning pick four numbers are 9, 8, 8, and 2. No, it's easy for win, so let's spice things up with our hot pick game. And this afternoon's winning lunchtime hot pick number is lucky number 15. Congratulations, all our hot pick winners. Again, the winning number is 15. And of course, Cashpot, here's the moment you've been waiting for. You can win $280 enough for every $10 winning Cashpot bet. Let's get ready to play our Cashpot game for Thursday, March 16, 2023. Of course, you live to play, but guess what? Can you win it? Now, are you ready to be a big Cashpot winner? Here we go. And this afternoon's winning Cashpot number coming your way. What will it be? Let's see. Here it comes. The balls are rolling. And what will it be this afternoon? Let's see. Here it comes. It is lucky number 5. Congratulations, Solar Cashpot winners again. The winning number is 5. And now, let's mega your winnings. So good luck. And what will it be this afternoon? Let's see. It is a white ball that has been selected. It is now time for the big one, the month's winning. So good luck once more. And here it comes. It is a white ball that was selected. So remember to go mega and monster 6 times per day for Cashpot for more chances to win big. So again, the winning Cashpot number is 5, Lucky Mark Teeth. And for mega, a white ball was selected. For pick 3, pick 4 Cashpot, and of course hot pick. And for Monster, a white ball was selected for Cashpot. And now, let's take a look at this afternoon's winning lunchtime numbers. And of course, a big congrats to everyone who won. So please make sure you come back at 3 p.m. with Sydney for more games you love to play. I'm Marianne. Have a supreme afternoon.
Hope you were a big winner. Play your favorite Supreme Ventures games every day and tune in for our live draw 6 times a day at 8:30 a.m., 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m., 3 p.m., 5 p.m., and 8:25 p.m. on this station. Supreme Ventures, making winners every day.
That's the lunchtime top draw dollars, pick 2, pick 3, pick 4, hot pick, and Cashpot draws. Congratulations to all of today's winners. Join us again at 3 p.m. for another chance to win in hot pick and Cashpot special pot draws. So we are back on the road to success, and we're journeying with none other than Minister Marion Hall. Now, the questions you said that your friends were asking you, listening to your journey so far, is the question I'm contemplating. How were you able to still be so good to your father, even though, you know, you had encountered so many things, and you're talking about before you went to Cashpot, you know, how you were still able to, because you're different, you have a different heart, you said.
Even when I struggle to have children and didn't carry them well, I lose them all. And sometimes I wonder if it's all that beating, you know, because I get a lot, you know, I get a whole lot. I usually tell my sisters, I got more than you all, you know, and sometimes I remember one night I packed my brothers and sisters up, and I got a sheet and I tie all the clothes. I shouldn't give you all this, you know, Kashima, because my book is coming out really soon. It's written already. Yeah. And I tie up their clothes in a bundle. I give everybody a bundle. I get another sheet tie, and I give everybody 4 of us. And we hear the daddy coming. The daddy come. You see me pretty there nowhere? You see me pretty? So we hide behind a grave, 2 graves, yeah? Wow. And I tell them, don't move, you know, all these banana trees and stuff. And I said, don't move. To each of them. My 2 little brothers, the one that I raised, and my sister, Precious. And let me tell you something. Precious said, "Let me drop my bungalow." He said, Precious, his sister go for it, but my dad was coming through the same track. I see the bungalow, I sat up by the bungalow. When she went out there,
you don't even want to hear. You hear me tell you? There was a time when we had no TV, so black and white TV. Irma, them have TV. Don't. Yeah, so I've been sending to buy flowers. So I stopped watching Sunday Martini, and I'm stuck on this TV, and I feel too big and around my neck. My dad was choking the life out of me, and it was this man named Shorty who grabbed him and said, "Man, what you do? You go kill him. You go kill him, pick me." And the man, you see when that man pull him out off me and said, "Run, girl, who could catch me?" I run and jump over some grave in that yard and jump over the barbed wire, and I don't know how I didn't get caught, but I think that is what really helped me when I went to Kingston, and I had was to run from the raper boy them in the ghetto, you know. I could jump zinc fence in no time, and I think all that running, you know, it built me up and line me up when we get to Kingston. But with my dad now and this love, I can't. I just have this love. I love people, and that is why when I love a friend or I love you, and and they really turn against me, it break me, like really hurt me, because I love purely. You know, I just love with everything, and I just love my dad because I know something was off. He must be like kind of little shit. Remember, this man couldn't read, and the history of where he's coming from. You don't want to know. My book is coming. Where he's coming from is fast.
We're going to be talking about the book in a little while, but in the interest of time, so as Lady saw, you garnered real international success. Grammy, multiple hits, collabs with some of the biggest names in music, both locally and internationally, Billboard successes, crowned Queen of the Dancehall, and more. Ultimately, what would you say was the distinguishing quality that allowed you to rise to the highest level in a male-dominating industry?
It's just this gift. It's a gift from God that I wasn't using it for the Lord completely, but as you know, you play a song and I was laughing. Well, I remember where I'm coming from. Produced by Dan Ross, I just need sending a message to bless the Lord. And, I knew this gift was from the Lord and should be used for the Lord. But in order to support my family, there was this urge, this need to be famous, to get to support my mom. I saw my mom one day. She used to wash clothes for people in the ghetto, right? She would leave and go uptown. And she come out one day and she said, "I washed 2 barrels of clothes today and they didn't even give me lunch." And that broke my heart. I also remember when she got her pay, I was trying for her to relax my hair. I need money to relax my hair. And she took the one payment, and she gave it to me so I relaxed my hair. And I was running up and down in that ghetto with my hair on my back. Just feeling it. And I see one time when my stepfather beat her up and my sister come crying to say in liquor. I go on and throw a tire around the man, I throw a tire over him and I'm beating. God, I thank you for grace. And listen to this. The thing that drive me and motivate me was my mom's suffering. All that I've seen her go through. There was a song that it didn't release, but I wrote this song through my mama's eyes. Like, my mom didn't know how to hug you and say, "I love you," but you could see the love in her eyes. You could see pain in her eyes. She didn't know how to express herself. I remember they gave her an interview once when they were banning me from Montego Bay, and she didn't understand what was going on, but she said, what you do? Why you do make people? She don't like argument, never see her fight. But one day, my dad gone, she was tired of him and she beat my father up. And the people in the community say, "Run, come look, yeah, Jenny, and beat your teeth, back foot over there." But anyway, that was what motivates me. Seeing her suffer, seeing her, go through so much. So the first money I made, I use it to buy a quad in Portmore and turn it into 3 bedroom downstairs, 1 upstairs, and 3 bathroom and 2 kitchenette. You know what I'm saying? That was for mama. When she came, when I said, "Come, I bought you a house." When she came, she just looking at me. I said, bring everybody. And they come out of the ghetto and she come and she just looking at me with this love in her eyes, this, she was close to my sister Josh Rihanna, but she had this tendency when I said, why is it that when she wanted, like when she was getting older and she needed help in the bathroom, and I said, let me take this, she would say she waiting on sister. So I said, why is it that she never allowed me to take her to the bathroom and stuff? She said, because she brown. So you see, her mentality
her
was
thinking, yes.
yes, because when she was growing up, she was on her dead mother's breast. Her mom died while she was sucking the breast. She was, yeah,
Wow.
and they found this baby sucking a dead woman's breast. She was used as the maid in the house by the grandmother, and everybody else would go to school. The ones with the eye color would go to school, and she would be the maid. So something about that. When she writes big, like and you read it, but some spelling is, but she had that mentality that because my skin is browner than my sister, she shouldn't have me come and help her in the bathroom. I remember bathing her one day when she come from the hospital, and I put her in the bath and I was bathing her. And she was just looking at me, and I know what it meant. It meant thank you. But I didn't grow up like that to love you, hug you, but I love you. Even though she didn't say it, I already saw her eyes. So she was my motivation.
So she motivated you to the pinnacle of success in dancehall, and here it is at the peak of your career. Things are going. Lady Saw is hot and firing, and I never forget. You had just released Heels On. We had you on What's the Scoop, and you came and you performed, and shortly after. You walked away from Lady Saw, and Minister Marion Hall was born. Take us back to that defining moment and why you felt that urge to walk away from all of what you had accomplished.
First of all, when I used to perform all those X-rated songs, I find myself at the bedside in the hotel room crying. I remember I was with John at the time, and he used to say, Marion, will you not go to your bed? But I'm there just humming, gospel melodies and telling the Lord how sorry I was. What really helped to push me, really like push me, was jealousy of other females. And I had everybody loved me. Everybody had loved me. I had no issues with any women in the music. And when I realized there was the younger females were coming up, and one was hell bent on taking me down. And when all the lies and stuff starts going around, and I start all these other females start coming against me, and because of one woman who caused all this havoc, the legacy that I wanted to walk away to leave, it became marred. It became, I could look on YouTube right now and I could see when this person stepped in my life, and I could see everything going downhill. And as I told you, I love people. I don't love arguments. And you will never see me in that. And when I see people coming at me and all this mix up and, everything just start becoming negative and hate and, jealousy and people just tearing down each other. I used to say I would never talk to a female like clash with a woman and tell her anything, derogatory, and when I see it gets to that, I knew, this is not me. This is not me. I mean, I'll go on the stage and I'll do this, all these X-rated stuff. But when I step off that stage, I remember Elise Kelly said, that woman, she's an entertainer. She do what she do, and she step off that stage, that's Marion again. Butcher Banton, Jermaine, yes, his manager at the time, used to ask me if I have a button that I turn. There's people that want to be me so bad that they would take me, they would just slander my name, and it was costing. I was getting enemies. There was, women was becoming my enemies. These young females, I have nothing against them. And I remember I just was just praying. I said, I wanted to leave this game from when you hear, take my money, take my friends, take my houses, I don't need my pants, take my smile along with my strength, but leave me Jesus. In the end, that was when it first started. And it subsided with those other grown women. They but when it comes to the younger women, they were like savages. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta go. Because it's either prison or hell. So there was a day when I went, the night before, I went to a club and I was drinking my red wine. And there were some women there, rebels, and they said, hey, me have a song for you, woman. And they start telling me about this song, but the song, I wasn't feeling it. Something was off. But I didn't know that the next day I was going to be baptized. So there was a female who had passed, Jay Capri, and I said, I met her only once at Hype TV, and her track wasn't playing, so she started crying, and I go up to her, I said, don't cry, honey. I said, you're going to do an a cappella today. And me and her talk and get her up, encourage her, and she went on. And she was just happy when she was done. And, I hug her and everything and say, see? Anyway, I said, I'm going to this funeral. So I tell my driver, my friend and driver, I said, Lickshot, wake me up tomorrow. And I fell asleep in the bathroom on the rug because I had too much to drink. Mr. Kerry was there. And my friend at the time, I was Peter Champagne. We used to go out and dance up in our club, and somehow when I hear Queen, Queen, I was like, oh, I'm so, because I had white wine, I shouldn't have had none. But Kerry was giving me, Query was giving, Mr. Query, you jumped me that night. So, everybody was giving me something else. And my friends also from Mango Ranch, one of them brought her wife and she wanted white wine and I wanted red, but I said, make your wife drink what she wants. So anyway, when I went home and he called me for the funeral, I went to the funeral. But when I went, I heard that my enemies, these are the females who was spreading lies about me, tearing me down, they were there. So I said to the Lord, I can't stay here with these hypocrites. I can't stay here with these people tearing me down. I heard the Lord said, love them and forgive them. So I'm hearing from God. God is using this pastor to preach about heaven. 3 people who made it to heaven, like you made it, I made it, right? And I go to the Lord, I said, why is Kashima here? And I start to bring up your sins. I got to him again and I saw somebody else. I said, why is so-and-so here? And I start to bring up all his sins. And the Lord said to me, it's the same thing people asking about you. Why are you here? How did you get here? So God used that to minister to me, to tell me there is a place for me in heaven. Then I didn't know I was acting off. People said I was acting strange. I remember something came over me and I just ran outside. And I remember I slapped the wall and a hand came and was just comforting me, but I didn't look who it was, if it was somebody or an angel. But I left there and I went home and the Spirit of the Lord came with me. And God started to minister to me, talking to me and the Lord talking back and forth till I remember when I had a friend at the time, we talked about everything. He's a male and I say, I'm going to tell him. God give me a different message to tell him. I said, I can't tell him that. I can't tell him that, Lord. But when I call him, I was telling him the Lord is in my house. The Lord was at the funeral and he's now with me. And the Lord is telling me, boom, my mouth just starts saying what the Lord told me to tell him. So it was like God was right there with me. And when the phone cut off, I get the WhatsApp and I press it and I told him the rest that the Lord said. And the Lord said to me, why did you deliver the message like that? I said, but God, you see the phone cut off, boom, the guy called back instantly. I said, are you vexed with me? You vexed with me? He said, no, I was going down the wrong path. But before he could explain, all I remember is that I said, well, God said, if he tell you, say, we stop the way I do, and whatever. Then I start talking to Ron Mouchette. And I'm telling Ron Mouchette the same day now, because the Lord tell me, call my sister, She wasn't coming, but I can't hear her. I said, God, I'm not hearing her. Lord, I'm not hearing her. Boom, my sister turned up. When my sister turned up, I said, God said to tell you to come back to him. And I'm prophesying. And my sister is there looking at me. I take the phone and I threw the phone at her. And I said, God said to tell you. By this now, the Lord said, go and get baptized. Wear white. Don't tell anyone. Because I had an encounter with the Lord in my bath before that previously. And the water was about to run over in the house, and the Lord, I hear baptism, but when I said I was going to get baptized, people start laughing at me, and all that was when all the females come at me, and I said, God, if this is a test, I'm going to fail it miserably. And I started writing lyrics for all three people, Spice, Tifa, Maka. I said, I'm going to tear off everybody's neck, yeah? And at this time now, Joe called me, I say, I'm here, you know what I'm saying, blah, 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 you know what I'm saying? But I was looking for all three of them, but only one came. But when I was done, I felt dirty. I felt as if I disappointed the Lord, because that was before I went to the funeral, you know, that was previously. So after I finished with Sting now, this is a different time. Every time I'm praying, I'm not feeling the presence of God anymore. So I start crying to the Lord, Lord, please don't leave me. Hold on to me, even my skirt, hold on to me. And that was when he came at the funeral, followed me home, said, go and get baptized, wear white. Pastor Bishop Everton Thomas was on his way home. He said, I said to my sister, God said I should go and get baptized. So my sister called somebody, because she was a church goer long before, you know. So when she called the lady said, hallelujah, hallelujah. And she called Bishop Everton Thomas, who said he was on his way home and God stopped him. And he turned right back and baptized me that night. Glory be to God. I thank God for grace, and I forgive. Weird. While I was talking to Ron, I said, and the Lord was talking to me in my house, and the Lord said I should love them and forgive them. And the Lord starts saying, ask them for their forgiveness. Right there on the live with Ron. And I said, in my spirit, I said, but God, me not trouble them. And them trouble me. I hear, ask them for their forgiveness. So then I realized that I was wrong too. Because, you know, it takes two to tango. No, so it takes two to tumble or quarrel. So I start calling names. And I call all of them names and tell them, if I ever did you wrong, I'm sorry, you know, because God said to love you and forgive you. And I remember one of them said, when we forgive her for, you know, for what? It was just pride, you know. And I just pray that, you know, because God don't like pride. And I'm just here to tell you, God is gracious, he's kind, he's loving, and he's also a God of wrath, because he rebuked me one day. I'm going to borrow X-Man money. And when I borrowed the money via email, the Lord said to me, say, as I lay down here, so you didn't think your God could give it to you? I have to jump up, Kashima, and send her back an email and say, please disregard that message. I got through. And by the next week, I got it. Oh, the sound is gone. I don't know why. The sound is gone. I don't hear you no more. I'm sorry. I hope yes. So I don't hear you no more. You want me to try another phone? Because I want to finish this, because I know we got to talk about this big song. Yeah, I can't hear you no more, Kashima. I'm going to look for the message I got first. And there you go, right there, Miss Sexy Kashima. Yeah, that's the message, yes. I'm going to click, no, that's not it. That's not it. I'm going to something else. I'll tell you, God is good. God is good. Maybe you could take a break while I hook up again. Yeah. Let me see if I hook up from another phone, but this one not working. You could take a break, maybe, sis. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, the link right here. Let me see. Let me put a capital. Okay, okay. This one, I'm gonna go on this one and see if this one works. Yeah, all right. Here's another phone. Yeah, let me see if I turn it sideways. Press start. Go on like this. All right. Let me see. Yeah, you hear me now? But it's back. That one is back to. Eh? Talk to me. No. Let me see. I'm gonna turn this one off. Jumping. Why is this one jumping now? It's jumping now. Oh Lord. Mm, you know what? It's not working. I'm sorry, Kashima. Mm, mm. Yan my week. You see me on the week. You see me on the week. Okay. Turn this off. Don't know. Hear it. It's spitting four, but I'm not hearing it. Nothing I'm not hearing. Why is it? No sound. No sound. It's split in four. Split in four. I don't hear nothing. Don't know why. Okay. I don't know why it's not working anymore. What's wrong with these scammers? Scammers just calling me food. Hello? Hello? Oh, I thought it was the scammers calling me. They call me a lot. Bless you. Okay. Miss Semi, we got it gone. Yes. All right. Yes, I can hear you. I was just looking at the front of my wig. I'm like, I bought this wig for Kashima yesterday to look good, and look that out. Yes. Right. Mm-hmm. 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 I tell you, I got so much songs in me. God is doing a new thing. At first, it started with "If I Was Famous," that song, and when I got "If I Was Famous, You'll Be All Over Me," yeah, that one was supposed to be the first one. Because when I got it, I said, Lord, I'm not doing that song because I would disappoint you. But then the Lord started putting his name all over it. So I started laughing so I said, God, you have a sense of humor. This song now, I wanted to go and work over there with Gramps because I listened to Gramps' music and I said, there's the quality of the music. I'd love to go into the studio with him, get the musicians and all that. So I used to, get in touch and talk to him and stuff. But then one day, Joe called me and I said, Joe, why not do two songs, da 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 da. And we went down there and I tell you, this song is a hit, sis. This song is a hit. It is, everybody's loving it. I wrote this song when I was going through some things. I've gone through some things last year and the year before. And during that time, the Lord told me, you're going to rise in the midst of them. Some people did me wrong, you know what I'm saying? And all hell was breaking loose because after I was accused publicly, of witchcraft, all hell broke loose. Even my two nephews, even they got in it and all kind of just jumping on the bandwagon and all of that, but God has been faithful to me. I cry, and the Lord gave me some scriptures and I went out there and I approached it God in a godly way. And God gave me this song, and this is my new breakout song and my breakup song. I cut all ties with my exes. I cut all ties with my ex-man, ex-friend, ex-boss, ex-everybody. Anything that's going to distract me from God, from this walk that I'm taking right here, I cut ties with it. So this is just a breakup song. Yeah. This is not a makeup song. I'm no longer, interested in your friendship, in whatever you have. I don't want it. I don't want it. I don't want it. I'm all in with God, and I'm staying focused this time around. Nothing is going to distract me from this right here. And this song is the start of something big. God is doing a new thing. You know what? Gramps loved the line that said, Jesus loved the rejects. I'm one of the rejects. I was rejected by men, by friends, by father, by, but the Lord told us in the word that if we give up all those things, houses, land, properties, brothers, sisters, whoever, mother, father, he'll give you a hundredfold of what? It is greatness, is awesomeness, the gifts, that make it rich and have no sorrow. So I'm all in. I'm sold out for Jesus. Yes. 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 The Lord gave me a church when he said he's giving me a church. I asked him, I was in Jamaica there on my bed. I said, Lord, what's the name of my church that you're giving me? The Holy Spirit said, don't say my church. I said, Lord, what is the name of your church that you're giving me? So he said, Holy Ghost Pentecostal Church of Jesus Christ. While I was in England, the Lord told me it was time to preach, and I started preaching. But I started this feeding of the homeless from the Lady Saw Foundation. But at that time, I didn't know God was seeing everything. So when he was talking to me on the 14th of December, 2015, the Lord said, you are now my servant who will be ministering for me. And he said, Marion Hall Ministry.